been 7 months, and here I am. I'm not really ready to be back yet, but I have missed you so much, and I only wish that I could actually see you guys like you could see me. But so what happens is when I got started, I realized they changed a lot of things, and I haven't practiced. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear as we typically do. Let me just tilt this a little bit because you know who's visiting us. It's Tishy. Somehow, although we haven't done this for 7 months, she knew it was the day and she knew it was the time and she was out here. So, what has happened in the 7 months and where are we going from here? I'm happy to say Tishy's still doing well. Uh, I can't remember how long she's had to have her fluids, but she kind of was getting funky. And so I took her to the vet, and the vet said that she needs to have subdermal fluids. Learn something new every day, like the word subdermal, which means beneath the skin. So thanks to my sister Valerie, who comes over here 3 times a week to help us give Tishy her fluids, uh, she's doing well. So that's a good thing. I'm doing pretty well, and I hope you're doing pretty well. I They've changed so many things on the side. I can't tell if anyone is here with me or not, but I will say if you are and you want to make comments, go ahead. I'll be able to check them later. And so now, why did I start today even though I'm not really ready? Let me share that with you. Kevin Nation said, winners take imperfect action while losers are perfecting the plan. And so I decided it was more important to take imperfect action and just be so happy to be here with you again. And rather than try to, figure it out and, make a plan and all that. But I can tell you a few things about this series. I'm calling this series Living in the Light. Now, you remember the previous series was called Life on the Light Side, and it was important to help us to stay light during relatively dark times, which seem to be still with us. But what I wanted to kind of do in this series of videos was talk about the importance of living in and being the light. So there you go. So today, how do we like to start our videos? Oh yeah, with the National Day Calendar. Give me a second, I'm going to flip over to that so I can tell you what day it is. It is National Cook for Your Pet Day. Shh, don't tell Tish that because I'm not cooking anything. I love her and I feed her very good food, but cooking for her, I'm not there yet. My mom was. My mom cooked for her little Pekingese every day. It was hilarious. It is National Color the World Orange Day, and I don't know what that means because I have not had a chance to look up. Even though the campground closed yesterday, we are still, in the process of officially closing it down in the office at this time. I'm happy to say it's National Authors Day. And what's special about National Authors Day? Well, I'm an author. And I attended this morning, I attended a first meeting of a writers group. I do hope my other writers group starts up again soon in person, which I would really, really like, but they're not there yet. And it's at night. And the older I get, the less I like to go out at night. Anyway, to all you authors, it's National Authors Day. It is Job Action Day. It is National Biologic Coordinators Day. Ooh. Now, you can look any of these up by going to the nationaldaycalendar.com and look up today's date. On this day, there are so many. There's not always so many. I'm just going to skip to a few others. National Calzone Day. Wished I'd have known that. I would have made a calzone. Had some cinnamon. Today's National Cinnamon Day, and I had some cinnamon in this wonderful sweet potato curry soup. Yum, yum. National Deep Fried Clams. Nope, don't care about that. Family Literacy. Well, we got to remember that. And National Vinegar Day and Autistic Speaking Day. So those are the national days. I promise I will do them better in the future and have more knowledge about them. But if you're looking in the spiritual and or slash religious area, today is All Saints Day. And it's the day that the Christian, probably more specifically Catholic tradition, honors the lives of the saints. And I really encourage you to look up some saints, look up maybe your own patron saint or the patron saint. There's a list of patron saints you can go to on Google and see which one might be yours. And but here's a story about saints. A little girl would go with her grandmother to church, and they had beautiful stained glass windows, and every window was the picture of a saint. And so her grandmother would talk to her about that. And, one day she was in Sunday school, and the teacher said, "Do you know what a saint is?" And of course, this little girl raised her hand. I know. And the teacher said, "What is a saint?" And she said, "They're the people the light shines through." And so you know what that really means? That you're a saint, and I'm a saint, and I think in her own beautiful way, Tishy's a saint. It means doing your best and giving your best. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a saint, until I found out that most of the saints were martyred. That means they were killed in the name of their faith. And so I said, no, I don't know about being a saint. I'm hoping rather to earn it with good works and touching hearts and changing lives, and that's going to be my goal. So, tomorrow, and that's another reason. First of all, I wanted to start today because what? It's the first of the month, okay? And secondly, it's All Saints Day. And thirdly, I didn't want to wait. I like to start things, like at the beginning of a month. It just seems to be more complete. And I wanted to talk about tomorrow. Why do I want to talk about tomorrow today? Because if you like what I share today, you may want to participate in your own way. Now, tomorrow is called All Souls Day. And in the Catholic tradition, you pray for those that have gone before you, praying they will be able to ascend from purgatory, if that's where they're at or whatever. But in Mexico, in this Mexican tradition, which came to me through my beloved Sammy, who is part Mexican, and it is Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead. Now, in a way, it's not unlike All Souls Day, because they celebrate, or we celebrate, because I celebrate in the spirit of Sammy, our people that have gone on. And it's a really, really cool way that they do it. There are, they build what is called an ofrenda. And that is like an altar. I feel when I say the word altar, I think people might get like, what kind of witchcraft we got going on there, or stuff voodoo. But an altar is an area that is set up, and some of them can be very, very ornate. But they have specific things on them. Mine is always very simple and small. But there's a few components. So that's why I'm telling us today that if you want to do your own Dia de los Muertos, honor your own loved ones who've gone on before you, this is your opportunity. So, the things that you will find on the ofrendas, one of them is water. And everything is about symbols and symbolism. And they put the water on, and that's supposed to be to quench the thirst of the loved ones who are coming back into the world of the living for a visit. And I like to also look at it because, see, all things are connected. So this is connected to All Souls Day, and I see that through the scripture that Jesus said that I have for you living water, and with the living water that I have, you will never thirst. And so think about the teaching, the wonderful teaching, because if you really look at the teaching without trying to put it in a religious box or a pigeonhole or a container, that living water, what Jesus taught, is really good stuff. And it works. It works whatever faith group you're in. It enhances your faith. So you will find water on the ofrenda. You will find candles. Now, candles represent, water is an element, and the next element is fire. So that's what the candles are, fire. In unity, we talk about the candles representing the spirit within, the divine spark within us. That is light. And that is, the candles in the Mexican tradition are to light the path to guide the spirits home. And we all know that as we follow the teachings of spirit, the goodness of spirit, it is a light. We will find our way if we focus on the light. The next one is perforated papers. Now I'm going to have to make some of those with my little hole punch. The perforated papers, you've probably seen them hanging up like flags in Mexican areas, and they flutter, and the little perforations, the holes in the paper, are what the spirits that fly through to get to their loved ones, our loved ones, and that we can see those holes, the perforations, that to know that spirit flows to us and it flows through us. Okay? Sometimes it flows as us. So we have fire and water and air or wind, and then we have, you'll find on the ofrenda, you will find a sand sculpture or statue. I'll show you what I'm going to put on mine. This is a little figure, and it's pottery. So pottery would represent the earth. So we're representing fire, earth, air, and water. And it's all symbolic of something spiritual. This is not woo-woo magical. It is something that brings us to remember what we're all about. All these things are symbols. And I like my little one because it kind of reminds us we're all one. We're all one. And then there's a little thing in here for a candle, and you can see that we all look to the light. Okay, so then another thing you're going to find on the ofrenda is portraits, pictures of your loved ones. And it is said that the pictures are one of the most important part, because it says they call the loved ones to the ofrenda. They call our loved ones here to be with us. And to me, that's metaphysical, and it really works, because when we look at the pictures, at the photographs of those we love, those who have moved on, for that moment, we're with them again. We have good memories. That's the most important thing, is to have good memories. And so you put up the pictures you have of the people that you love. If you don't have pictures of the people you love, you can write their names on a piece of paper and put that on your little, I call it a memory table, a remembrance table. I used to do services when I was in pulpit ministry every year for we called it Remembrance Day, and it's the same thing. We honor those who have gone on before us. We share with others the stories of their lives and how they impacted our lives. And that is so important because it affirms the reality and their eternal presence in our lives. Okay, another item you're going to find is salt, generally formed like a little cross. And they say that's a way to purify souls as they cross over. Now, one time I traveled to Los Angeles, and I remember it was the first time I ever flew, first time I ever flew there, first time I flew cross country. And I remember looking down at Los Angeles as we flew over it, and there was like all this smog, and you had to go down through the smog to get into the airport. And Tishy wants to be a part of this, and that's kind of to me sometimes is like coming into for the spirits coming in back to the weighty, solid. And what it was an environment that we live in, both in consciousness and physically. You need to have some purification kind of. You don't want to get connected to it. So you will find salt. And then flowers. And the flowers are typically marigolds. And why are they marigolds? That because they're bright in color. And the Mexican tradition wants to honor the beauty and the joy and the color of their loved ones' lives. So I think it's, rather than the sorrow of their death. And we think about a lifetime. Even Sammy, she only had 27 years here, but rather than color those whole 27 years with gloom and sadness and tears, we want to think about and laugh about the good times, the special times. And I invite you to do that for and with your loved ones also. Another thing you will find is the favorite food. Now, one of the things they do put out is bread. It's called Bread of the Dead. And it's basically round, and it's a sweet bread. And it has a circle, which is like skull, which is like probably where our mind and our memories are. And it's got these little things that go on it that represent the tears that people have shed because they kind of run down the side. But again, to me, that's a little sad, but if that works for them, but we remember that bread is tasty and it gives us nourishment. So that's the symbolism of the bread. And then also the favorite food of the loved ones. For I think tomorrow, as I celebrate, I'm not sure what I'm going to make, but Sammy loved taco salad, so I may do that, or I may do tacos. I may do pizza. When I thought of that, though, I thought about, well, what about my other relatives that passed on? Do I remember their favorite foods? And I don't. I think that's pretty interesting. So maybe I didn't know them as well as I should have. Okay, and then so that's pretty much the whole idea of Dia de los Muertos, the basic, serve their stories and carry your history. I think that's something that would really be a worthy thing for us to do. Well, so tomorrow, I may share my ofrenda with you, show you what I've got, how I use it. Maybe I will have whipped up some kind of special snack or not. I will do my best to be here at 5. That's my goal, to be live at 5. And we'll just see what comes from there. So for today, I am so glad that we had this time together, and I will look forward to more of the same. I just want a little bit more about what it's going to be like with life, living in the light. This one's going to be a more, to me, kind of exciting thing where we're going to maybe have some hot topics, and you will be invited to share any questions or anything you have. So, thank you for joining me, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're here now and I just don't know you're here. And it's so good to connect again and know that I love you. I bless you, and I behold the divinity in you. Have a great day and live in the light. Remember, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe so you don't miss anything. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.